Hi friends, how are you all? I hope you all are been practicing Python as and when I am posting any new module. In the previous module, I have discussed about the conditional statements in which we have learnt about if, elif, then nested if also. Whereas in today's module, I am going to discuss about loops. Now, loops are nothing but a way to iterate certain set of statements for n number of time. Now, this n number of times could be fixed or it could be, depending upon the user's choice also. So, in Python, we have two ways to, reinforce the loops. One is the for loop, another is the while loop. Although in Python, for loop and while loop almost work in the same way, there is no much difference. It's only the commands and the syntax to pass the loop body. So it's entirely depend upon the programmer in whatever loop they are more comfortable with, whether for loop or while loop they can use it. Whereas I am going to introduce both the loops to you, and then depending upon your choice and as per the program's requirement, you can choose which loop you want to use, right? So let's get started. So as you can see that I have drawn a flow chart for loops also, just like I did it for the conditional statements. Now in the loops, as the flow chart goes, so start here again means the starting of the for loop condition. It's not the starting of the program. Maybe there are certain more instructions on the top of it. So the moment your for loop starts, first of all a counter is initialized. Now what is a counter? Let me explain you that also. So counter is actually nothing but a variable which is keeping a check on how many times my loop has to run. As I told you that loop means running the certain set of statements for n number of time. Let's say that n is 10 times. I want to run certain statements for 10 number of times. So first of all my counter will be initialized with like n equals to 1. Then it goes and it will check the test expression that whether my n is less than 11 or not, because I have to run it for 10 times. So it should go from 1 till 10. So that expression will be checked here. And then if that expression is true, then only it will enter in the for loop body and execute the instructions written inside the for loop. Then once it will execute those instructions, then it will come out of those instructions and will update the counter. Now it is very important, because if I am not updating the counter, that means I am not incrementing or decrementing whatever way I want to run my loop. For example, here I have told you that n I have initialized with 1 and I want to run it till 10. So that means I have to increment the n with 1. So I have to write n is equal to n plus 1, and that's how the n will become 2 then. Now again, once the initialization step has done in the first part, it is not repeated. Then it directly goes to the test expression that will be checked. Now as I know that my n is 2, so again my condition is true and the statements written in the for loop body will be executed, and then again the counter will be incremented to 3. The same way it happens until the value of the n is 10. So at last, when the value of n is 10, the condition will be true. It move inside the for loop body, execute these instructions, and then again update the counter to 11. Come here, then again compare. Now this time n is greater than 10. So obviously the statement is false in that case, and it will come out of the for loop body. Now I am going to show you the working of this also, but before that please understand there are three very important things in loop to keep in mind, whether it's a for loop or it's a while loop. In both cases it works same. So first of all it should be initialization. So I am using initialization. After initializing there should be condition check. Once my condition check is fine, then there should be a updation. Now this updation could be a incrementing or decrementing of the variable counter. It all depends upon me. So these three steps are very important. Now let us learn these steps from the program point of view, how we use it in the Python syntax. So as you can see, my Python is open. Now I quickly create a new file. So here I am writing let us start with the while loop first, and I will be showing you the dry run also. Now what is a dry run? I have discussed that in the if conditions also. So dry run means you are not running the program on the machine, but you are just checking it manually how it works, what will be the value of variables, what will be the value of the print statement, and all that is called a dry run. And being a student, you should be in practice of having the dry run, because once your dry run concepts are clear, you will never make mistakes in the programming, right? Now I am starting with the while loop, as I told you. So as I told you that the first step is always the initialization. So let's say now what is the program I am going to do. So I am writing it here, hash. So it's a comment that print numbers 1 to 10. Okay, this is my program. So what I have to do, first of all, I have to initialize. Now for initializing, let's say I am taking a counter n and I am initializing it to 1. And then what I am doing is I am writing while n is less than 11, or I can also write n is less than equal to 10. That's one and the same thing. This or n is less than equal to 10, these two conditions actually means the same, right? So here I am using n is less than 11 and then the sign of a colon. So as I explained you in the last class, that the moment I put a colon sign, there is an automatic indentation in Python, which means that the body of the while loop starts, and until and unless this indentation is maintained, whatever I am writing here just below this indentation will be counted as the body of a while, right? So now what I am going to do is I am writing print number n. Now why I am writing n, this again I am going to explain it to you. And so what I have done, I have done the initialization, I have done the condition check, and this is what my while body is. But what I wanted is, before I go back to my condition check, I first need to increment, because here I am going from 1 to 10, so I definitely need to do an increment. I have to increase the value of n. So I will do n is equal to n plus 1, or I can use a shorthand operator also as n plus equals to 1. Both are the same things, right? And I just run it. So you can see it is showing me number 1 to 10. Now let us quickly see the dry run and understand how it works. So I am taking this pen, and now I know there are two things. One is the value of n and another is the print statement, right? What print is going to do. So in my dry run, I need these two things to be checked. Okay, so let us quickly understand. When I am saying initially n equals to 1, so the initial value of n is 1, right? So it will go here and will check 1 is less than 11. The condition is true, so it enters in the while body and it will print number. So I am not going to write this number again and again. So this is understood because it's a string which I have written. So I am not going to write it again and again. So number and then value of n, which is 1 at present. Now n will become n plus 2. So the value of n will become 2 and it goes back to this step. Now again the condition will be checked. Yes, now this again 2 is less than 11. So it will be printed number 2. Same way it will be going to do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And when the value will become 10, so it will say print number 10. So it is going to print number 10. And n will again be incremented to 11. Now it will check if 11 is less than 11. So this condition is false now. Now since it is false, it is not going to enter inside the while loop and it will automatically come out. So that's how I will get in the print statement, I will get only the number from number 1 till number 10. I hope this is clear to you, the execution of while loop and the dry run of it also. Now let us quickly understand the same loop with the for statements. So for your better understanding, what I am doing is I am just making it a comment and I am starting with the for loop. Now as I told you that in Python there is no much difference between for loop and while loop, only the way to give the command. So what I am doing is I am saying for n in range, for which I am using a range function. Now range function help me to do all these three steps at one go. So in the range function, first of all is the initialization. So I am saying initialize the value of n from 1 comma till it has to go till 11. Now why 11? Because we know in Python it always takes the value n minus 1. So 11 minus 1 will be 10. So the value will go up till 10, comma, and the increment or a decrement updation. So by default, if I am not mentioning here anything, it will be going to take it 1. But since I just want to show you, so I am putting it 1. So jump of 1, 1 plus 1 will be taken. And then I am writing print, and I am saying number comma n, right? And then now here I need not to do any increment because that is already been taken care here. I need not to do any condition check, that is been taken care here, and initialization also. So all the three things with the help of the range function I have done it one step. I am just saving it and I'm running it. So you can see in the output I have again the same output. Both of them are actually working the same thing. Now for today I am just going to tell you that if my conditions are not placed properly, I may fall in the trap of the infinite loop. So what are infinite loops? So whenever my conditions are not placed properly, so sometime I got trapped in the same set of conditions and the same set of statements, and that statements keep on running, and I have to then manually go and forcefully stop the program. Let me show you how. So let me first do it for while loop. So I have initialized n equals to 1. Now what I am doing is in the condition check, I am checking if n is equal to 1. Right now when my n is 1 and n is equal to 1, so this condition is true at first, right? And what I do is I just totally forget about my increment or decrement. Now what will happen? So as you can see, number 1 will keep on moving and moving until unless I forcefully stop my program from here. So it is saying your program is still running. Do you want to kill it? So I'm saying okay. So this is called infinite loop when my conditions are not placed properly, because if you will do the dry run of this, you will see n is equal to 1. The condition is n equal to 1. So this condition is true. So this condition will always remain true because neither I am incrementing the n value nor I am decrementing. So n will always remain 1 and this condition will also remain true always. So this is called the infinite. So in while loop I have seen that I have trapped in a infinite loop, but in for loop there is an added advantage, since I know that if I am skipping this step, even then it is automatically incrementing it one step. Let me show you the output. So you can see it is automatically incrementing one step. So in case I forget to do the decrement or increment, even then it will work fine. So if I say if it is less than 2, so it will always be checking if n is equal to 1. So you can see it is showing you number 1 because automatically it is incrementing. So we have seen that sometime for loop is much safer as compared to while loop in case of Python, but that doesn't mean that while loop is totally ineffective. I am going to show you some of the example of while loop also, wherein it depends upon the user's choice whether they want to move further or not using the while loops also in the coming tutorial. So soon there will be more modules coming on the loops, because loops is a concept which I think each and every student or a programmer should learn by heart. So for today, thank you and bye.